Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Akash Kanil, studying civil engineering at AIMS Engineering College, currently in 8th semester. So, firstly, I would like to thank Engineer Ashok sir for giving an opportunity to complete my internship at Prayojan Institution and giving for this opportunity to present my report. So, so I was able to visit two sites, one being Oceanus Dwelling near Sarjapura Road, and the other one being Terracote Construction, which is located at Domasandra for the internship program. So before that, yes. Now at Prayojana, we were given training on the good practice in constructions, such as feasibility report, site plan, rough cost estimate, and many more other practices required in construction were been taught. So I just like to tell in generally what as a civil engineer we should know about feasibility report is. That is, for every project, whether self-sustained or not, one need to know the every possibilities and likelihood of the need of basics, including the project itself for the purpose of being commissioned. Which means, in feasibility report, the site will be inspected by the field engineers thoroughly, and it should be governed by the development control regulations. And even we need to consider the road winding proportion, whether the existing buildings come under heritage building or not. And also the land is to be studied properly and should be checked with FMB sketch, which is nothing but the field measurement book, in order to ascertain the boundaries. Then, and there are many such feasibilities. Similarly, coming to the site plan, which explains about the checklist. So these are the following things should be contained in a site plan. They are the north point, the survey point, the subdivision, the measurement of the site, classification of the land, extent of the land, latitude and the longitude of the location where it is present, and main important is the about the water table level present, its maximum minimum, whether any rock outcrops within the site, and so if the location may be marked. Then coming to the rough cost estimate. So this is actually based on the feasibility report cost. So here, this rough cost estimate is actually prepared based on the plinth area of the type design. It may be the building, the type of the foundation, and the superstructure, etc. So this is actually a picture with our Ashok sir and with Sachin, who is actually the manager of business development of aluminum formwork development. Thanks to him also. Then coming to the quantity estimation. So in quantity estimation, we have the measurement details for each part of the construction process, such as excavation, that is earthwork excavation, PCC, plain cement concrete, the footing, beams, columns, slab. So in all these, if a concrete need to be installed, then it is actually in terms of meter cube, and the amount is in terms of length, breadth, as well as depth. That is for excavation. When you come for the PCC bed, it is in terms of thickness of the bed. Footing, it is in terms of the height. Height is nothing but same. It is about the thickness, even for beam, column, as well as slab. Then regarding the reinforcement, that is about the number of steels, how much steel we are using, then regarding its length. So for that, when you say about a footing, we can see there is x direction as well as y direction. So this is how we calculate by this formula the length of the bars in terms of both x and y direction. Same thing we will be carried even for the column as well as the beams, even for two-way slabs. Now in many of the buildings, generally they will be providing is the two-way slab. That is because we know the ratio of the longer span by the shorter span. If it is coming less than 2 mm, I mean less than 2, then that indicates we need to provide two-way slab. So its dimensions is given very clearly here. Similarly, the number about the block work. So block works, that is number of blocks, is determined based on the meter square. Plastering, meter square. Then painting in terms of meter square, that is the area. waterproofing also in terms of meter square, followed by shuttering. Now, now I like to move to the internship details. That is, this was my first site, Oceanus dwelling. So here in this, I like to show about, okay. Yeah. So this is about the Oceanus Vista Phase 2 overview. So this is the location map at Sarjapur, and this is its site plan. So it consists of 7 towers. Here already the 3 towers is constructed. Still there are remaining 4, and in that 4 comes these 2 plants. So we can see 2 BHK, 3 BHK. So the dimensions of all these things are given in terms of feet and inches. So from this plan, we can come to know like the position of the column, the room dimension, and we should be very alert that whenever we see a plan, the dimension given, first thing indicates the x axis, then comes the y. That means, yeah, that means what is that? It is denoted in terms of feet and inches in this particular plan. Then comes about the specifications. So these are the specifications followed by the company for their constructions. So these are the orders which they have been following from their past constructions regarding the structure, wall, the type of the doors used, windows, flooring, kitchen, toilets, for painting, in the terrace, what and all, basement, electrical, even the common areas like staircase and lift, water supply, power supply, lift, sanitary, then the common area light fittings, and these are similarly about the amenities. So now in site, if you see, this is how the procedure, this is how it starts, it begins with the surveying and the marking. So they have been carried by use of the total station instrument. As we know that nowadays this is one of the trend, by use of laser technology, we can capture each and every reading within it. And based on that, the plan can be judged, and from plan, the site marking can be done. Then about the excavation. So here you can see the excavation figure where it shows that the hard platforming. Yeah. So it is the excavation with hard platform using size stones. And this size stones is it's having the dimension of greater than 40 mm. Then comes the PCC concrete. On above that, we are placing this one, and that itself is the initial stage of a foundation process. And then above that is what we are going to place is the footing reinforcement. Then followed by the footing concrete will be done as per the given what is that ratio mixed design. It can be generally provided will be the M40 for the foundations and all. Then coming to the column. So once the footing is completed only, we will begin with the columns. So to place a column, first and most we need to do is the marking of the column above PCC bed. So this marking is actually done by the use of cement mortar and thread. And this work will be carried out only by the experienced site engineer, because this itself is the base of any building. If a building need to be exactly vertical, means it is depending on the position of the column. And followed by the columns are placed above the footing, then the column footing concreting, and this comes the strata fixing. So usually this strata fixer will be provided from first floor onwards. That is, once the first floor is completed, now to continue from there. So there should not be any shear failure. So to prevent from that only, we are actually providing a strata fixing. Finally comes the column shuttering. Then the columns can be completed, and these are some of the dimensions which was been provided in there. Then comes the slabs. So actually this both beam and slabs both will be taken care simultaneously, undertaken simultaneously, and for that first of all, the shuttering work will be carried out, and then above that, the reinforcement, electrical connections. Then before concreting, they will go with the air blowing. That means it should be free of dust. Then finally comes the curing. So curing, generally everywhere, it is one of the latest technologies, ponding. So it is very easy also, so that anyone can come and they can fill the water, and it can get cured also.
No, this is not the latest technology. This is a very good technology compared to other technology.
Ah,
Now they are using the curing compound and all. So this is assured one, the ponding. This
sure.
is the best method. But these days
Yes, sir.
they are using steam curing and the chemicals also. The chemical
Hmm.
they are spraying. Some places water is not available, so they make the chemical this thing curing, or they use the steam curing. And this is a conventional, well proven, good technology, which is your curing of the slab by ponding method.
Bonding method. Oh, sorry, sir.
Okay, okay. Proceed, proceed.
Then
Good
comes the
presentation. Continue.
okay. So generally, for any like apartments and all, what they prefer is only after the completion of slab only, then later they will go with the inside works. That is the then that is about the what is it, block works, which we call it as masonry. So generally, the masonries they are using is the blocks, concrete blocks, not the brick one. So, and this dimensions of this blocks is based on 4 inch, 6 inch, and 8 inch. It is based on the thickness. So, only for the external walls will come for us 8 inch, and for internal, that is for the partition walls like kitchens, toilets, they prefer 6 inch or even 4 inch, so that that can get what. So the area inside the area plot area can be increased. And this is how it begins. The first course marking. So this is the main thing, first course marking. If this is gone incorrect means, then our later, the like from above that, whatever we do, everything can get distracted. And block work up to sill or window level. This indicates above this is what where the windows or any like generally windows will be preferred. And this is the final block work. And then forward comes the plastering. So coming to plastering is, so we plaster by use of combination of both the cement as well as the sand. So the ratio taken for inside one internal wall is 1:6. For external, 1:5, and for the ceiling, 1:4. So to begin with plastering, first they will go for bull marking. So this will, so this bull marking is basically done, and this bull marking is actually first of all done by the site engineer only, so that the one who plasters later he can achieve it in uniformly. And then, so bull marking will be done for everywhere, but this hatching will be done especially for the column surfaces, and even for the slab surfaces, even for beam. Why? Because when the cement mortar is attached to that, there should be a sticky nature. So that is the reason we provide hatching. And then comes rough plastering for tail work. This is generally provided for kitchen plot areas. And then this is the external plastering. Then moving on to the floorings. So we can see here. Okay, moving on to the floorings. So why we do flooring? Because to achieve a proper uniform platform, so that for walking, we generally see is the comfortable. So preferred one is the vitrified tail fixing. Vitrified tail fixing is nothing but it is a ceramic tail finishing. That means it should be like water. There should not be any what is that, porosity should be very less. Say if you clean it with water means, then the water should not able to percolate in that. That is why we prefer vitrified. Also, even some may provide granite or marbles, but it is like quite costly. So to be economically, we prefer vitrified tail. And the fixing of tailing is actually achieved by use of spacer joints. So here we have actually two joints. One is the paper joint and the spacer joints. Paper means all tails will be joined together. There will be no gap between them. Whereas in spacer, there will be a gap of at least zero point 0.3 centimeter also. That is nothing but around 3 mm. So what is the difference between these two is, in spacer joint, say let us consider one of the tail has been damaged. Then we will be, our aim will be like taking off that one. So when we take that one, that should not then the adjacent tail should not get disturbed. So that is why the spacer joint is generally provided in residential areas, comparing to the it's without spacing. So this is how the finished vitrified flooring looks, and this is the flooring which is provided in toilets, bathrooms. Generally, these tails are actually very rough, which we call it as slip grip tails, so that we should not get fallen down. Then coming to the wall tailing. So wall tailing usually will be provided in kitchen as well as even toilets, both. Even there also the spacer joints is what we used to prefer. So this is one of the main important thing. While tailing, it's better to provide spacer joints. And when you come to the corners, a proper finishing should be there, because we generally often used to see is the appearance. So for that, this is how the finishing looks. Then these are the different types of tails. Coming to the waterproofing. Now, what is waterproofing? It is nothing but we are resisting the water percolating into the concrete structure in future. So usually this waterproofing will be done in water areas, like it is provided in toilets, balconies, utilities, in even it is used for even in roof also sometimes. So this is how it is done for toilets. Bore cutting. Bore cutting indicates the installation of pipe. Then once the pipe is installed, they'll be packing it. Then they will screed the concrete. Then that leakage test will be done. Finally, once the leakage is successfully completed, that means they will go below and check it. Is there any leakage? If it is not there, then they can proceed with finishing coat. Or else, again they will be doing it. Again they will be repeating. And this is the chemical used for waterproofing, Leak Guard C Super. Then comes the painting. So this is the already which is completed in one of the phase, and its image is that. And this is how the internal paintings looks. And these are many other miscellaneous works will be keep on going inside, like staircase, then retaining wall. So these retaining wall are generally provided for to prevent the failure of the soil, especially done for under subsurface parking plot areas. Then swimming pools. And coming to the handrails. So in apartments, you can see there are both lift as well as the handrails. So there are two differences. One is they'll be preferring a stainless steel and grills. Stainless steel is actually little costlier there comparing to grill, but stainless steel gives good appearance. So that's the reason they will be providing it from ground floor to two plus floors.
And in the hospital areas and all where the infection rate is high, there they use the stainless steel because of this MS will go for corrosion. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So stainless steel, there will not be corrosion. So in most of the hospitals and the premium areas, the hotels and other areas where the health related things are happening, so they go for the stainless steel. SS compulsory. Lot of places they use SS as mandatory. And yes, of course, the cost is more than the MS, but still people wanted that one because of requirements, end user requirements.
Yes, sir. Then similarly, so the place, this one here, actually batching and all was done within the site itself. And this is how the batching and mixing concrete plant looks. And so this is all about the, in one site that was happening in the Oceanus, and the other one was site was the terracotta construction. Here also, so this is a location map. It is in Domas, Andhra. Okay, coming to the site plan. So this is the total site plan is of 80 feet by 40 feet. So presently they are actually focusing on just like 50 feet by 40 feet now. That is because because lot of adjacent houses are there, and it is not like we cannot put the excavated soils wherever we like. So they are maintaining within their site itself, and that is how, and that's how. So that's why they are focusing on half of the portion, and this is the excavated portion where the PCC concrete is already done with ratio of 1 is to 4 is to 8, where 1 is the cement, the 4 is the that much the bags of the sand, and this 8 is comes the coarse aggregate. Then, and one more thing, here you can see it is a mat footing. That is because, that is based on the soil test. Say if the soil test comes whose SBC is less, then they prefer mat foundation. If it is much harder means, then they'll go for isolated. That is what we need to keep in mind. Then, yes, then, so above the PCC, same thing. They have done the column marking by use of both cement mortar and thread. And now the next procedure is about the reinforcement detail itself, footing. So all these details is well, what is that? Tested, analyzed by the structural engineers. Similarly, about the column reinforcement. So each and every column, they have mentioned very clearly in the plan how many numbers of column are there, types of columns, number of bars, the spacing of the bars, each and everything. And this is how it was the site, straightening of bars, and they'll begin with the what is that, footing reinforcement itself. So it is a mat, and then the columns are well placed by observing the column marks, and we can see here all the columns, since it is a mat means, so all columns should be very well, but it should be exactly perpendicular, and for that they will provide these scaffoldings. Then at the same time, so by with the help of those supports, they will do the strap beam. So that is also once again a good bonding between all the beams in the foundation portion. Then simultaneously, it's a responsible for any site engineer to check whether the things carried in the site is correct or not. So we can check it out by use of a tape. This is how we carry out. Then also we will be determining, theoretically, like how many number of bars is required. So we have considered one section, one portion of that plan, and the calculation have been carried out. From that, we can come to know whether they have used this many numbers of bars is there or not. If in case, suppose sometime what happens, there will be a shortage, then it's our responsibility to tell them. And finally, the footing has been concreted. So this was the last stage actually still there carried out, and due to this many COVID issues, like it has been now delayed. But I'm thankful to them since I could learn many things. Especially, I like to thank Nataraj sir, who was involved in terracotta construction, and even in Oceanus, I like to thank the Gauri Shankar sir as well as the Manu, Vijay sir, and Binoy. And for all these support, I thank Ashok sir. Thank you so much. And from our college department, Dr. Shashi Shankar sir, thank you all, sir. Definitely, this itself, from this, I will try to do best of my career, sir. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, good presentation, and you have done a lot of works at the project also. So I will convey the regards to the project people who were supported. And Natarajan sir has spent much time in very good